Majlis Khuddamul Ahmadiyya UK hosted the virtual Waqfe Nau retreat on Saturday. The online program lasted through the day and included studio sessions, documentaries, and even an interactive quiz. Guest speakers included Umair Aleem Sahib, a life devotee who has been honoured to travel with Hazrat Khalifatul Masih, may Allah be his helper, on several occasions.
I was on a Pakistani passport and I travelled to Japan with Huzur, and we, I think, went from New Zealand. And at Japanese immigration, at that time in 2006, it was just quite simple. The only question the guy asked me, how many people are you in the entourage? And I said, we are 12. And he says, okay, go and sit in that room. He just pointed out a small cubicle, which was made of glass doors, glass walls. So I went there and I just sat there because I didn't know what is going on. I thought maybe they're checking something. Anyway, the wait became longer and longer, and it ended up with like 30, 40 minutes. And I started panicking, thinking that what shall I do? The kafla must have gone, Huzur must have gone out. They've probably received Huzur, and nobody would probably remember that where is Umair? So I was really scared. And then Umar Safir joined me there as well. And I said, how come you are here? You're a British passport holder. What is going on? And he says, well, they just told me to stay here as well because they've got something to do with my passport. Anyway, when I came out, I remember talking to Umar and I said, Umar, hum piche reh gaye, we are left behind. Let's see how we go back to the mission house. I don't know anybody here. We don't even know the language, any sign door or anything. And we were just discussing how to make our way out, or maybe somebody is left behind to take us with them. And I still remember there were like escalators going down. And I saw Huzur's pagdi coming up like this, and my just heartbeat just stopped, and I said, Huzur is here. And then all of a sudden Huzur came up, and he grabbed my hand, he goes, Kya hua hai? Why were you stopped?
Yes.
And the first thing came out from my mouth, Huzur, aap gaye nahi? You didn't go. Yeah. It's been more than an hour. And Huzur said, do you think I'm going to go? Can I leave my companions behind like this? Mashallah. If they would have asked me to wait another 6 hours, I would have stayed here. I just wanted to cry there basically, because I just could not believe that Huzur could be so humble with us, and this is how he thinks.
Other inspirational talks were given by Waqfe Nau themselves.
In 2013, I went to Benin in West Africa for 5 weeks. And for the first 3 weeks, Shafqat Bhai showed me how to install solar panels, do wiring, install street lights, install bulbs and switches in people's houses. And this was at a time when I didn't even know how to hold a screwdriver, let alone use one.
Since I was about in year 7 or 8, Huzur always used to call me Dr. Saab. At that time, I didn't even have the slightest inkling that I was going to do medicine. I was very fortunate to be able to go to Tahir Heart Institute in Rava for a month in the blessed month of Ramadan. It was a state-of-the-art facility. I saw and spoke to many patients and families of patients who had made miraculous recoveries, and this happened quite regularly in Tahir Heart. This combination of having an academic and professional, yet spiritual environment, where doctors do du'as before procedures, where prayers and attributes of Allah, such as Huwa Shafi, He's the healer, are framed around the walls of the hospital, where even Gharamdi Maulvis come to seek treatment because they know the caliber and integrity of Ahmadi healthcare professionals. This convinced me that I want this combination of deen and dunya going forward in my life.
The concluding session saw Sadr Sahib's address.
My dear brothers, at the end, I would like to conclude with these words of the Promised Messiah ﷺ. He says, such youth ought to be produced who completely disregard worldly gain to devote their lives merely to serve their faith. May Allah the Exalted enable us to serve to the best of our ability and fulfill our pledges of dedication, devotion and waqf. May we become those youth that the servant of God is in search of. Jazakumullah ahsanul jaza wa akhiru da'wana and alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen.